So it's like Groover is almost always likely one part of a larger paid marketing strategy.
It's the way to be part of a strategy for sure.
And it might, in some cases, it might be insanely important for that strategy. In other cases, it might be small, but that's, a lot of people, I feel like with anything in music marketing, they like to think they can do just like one thing. That's going to turn them into like Billie Eilish or whatever. But it's most likely not the case.
And the way we see it also is, if I can add, I'm thinking of one story. There's like a French rapper called Baby Jack, so it's literally Baby Jack or Baby Jack, and he's become really strong, and he's been featured on the Netflix TV series called Nouvelle École. It's like a rap school like series and stuff, and he's become huge, and he's around like an older viral 50 and top 50 in France thanks to that. But before that, like all the early work was done through a contest that we organized in Groover with a very famous YouTube influencer there in rap called it's in French it would be the dirty reviewer, and he's doing a lot of and he's very followed by a lot of people for French rap, and he's wearing a mask and stuff. And so we did a contest with this guy, and we decided to support that artist, and we helped him get into like a very cool like freestyle podcast. We filmed a live session with him and another very cool media outlet. We pushed him a lot, and we see that like he's been growing. He's been like scouted by like the Netflix for that TV series, and now he's become really huge. Like yes, all his tracks have reached like 1 million. They have people who are like binge listening to his music in like in a crazy way that you can have like for French rap in some occasions. And we've seen that happening. So Groover is really a part. Like it's not the reason why you're breaking out, but it's part of it. And the second thing I want to say is that we're seeing so many now very important independent record labels and even major record labels using Groover for their release.
Yeah.
So and really cool artists. And we see the artists are like, no, they didn't use Groover, it's not possible. And we see that and they're like, and they actually get some great results, and they want to work again with us, and they contact us and see like, how can you help us? And so we see that as like also proof that it's bringing value to artists for a whole different kind of like the levels of development for the artists who are using Groover is so varied, from the artist releasing his first track to a band like I told them like, no, we got Ninja Tune, like Ninja Tune. They're using Groover for their releases now. It's like a very big record label in the UK.
Nice.
It was done electronic music a lot. They work with Bonobo and people like that, Erykah Badu and stuff. So they're working on stuff like that, and they're insanely like picky and very like it's an amazing brand. Like a lot of artists would dream to sign with Ninja Tune. Yeah. They're using Groover for as part of their like marketing and promotion campaign. So
when they ask me, because I talk a ton about Facebook ads and stuff, but when people ask me what switch do they use for playlisting, I'll say try Submit Hub, Groover, Playlist Push. But what I tell some people is like, instead of going all in with your credits on a certain platform, especially for your first time, like you'll find that each platform kind of suits a slightly different demographic and genre or whatever. And so one song might do better on Playlist Push than it would do on you guys or Submit Hub. And like, for example, my alternative metal project, I submitted like to 20, 30 curators on Submit Hub, 0%. And the problem was, actually, I don't think we could do 20 or 30. I don't think there was enough in the genre to even select any relevant curators. But we got a 0% acceptance rate, and there weren't many options. I wouldn't dare take it to Playlist Push. Like Playlist Push in general, I made a video on it comparing them to Submit Hub, and the conclusion was don't use them, just purely because of how expensive it is per pitch compared to both of you guys. But in that video was just comparing to Submit Hub, but it's still way more expensive than you guys. And so I would recommend people, if they have a budget they want to spend on curation, probably spend a little bit on several platforms. You can't really do that with Playlist Push. But then see what feedback you get from each platform. And you might find that Submit Hub doesn't work for your genre, where it works on Groover. And I've noticed that on the curator side, the types of music I get as a curator on Groover are completely different than the types of music I get on Submit Hub, which is kind of strange, but for whatever reason, it seems like certain types of people have flocked to you than the ones who have flocked to them.